Hey friends, it's Laura here from Lalo Yoga and Wellness. Happy Radical Wellness Wednesday. This is a place where we explore different elements of wellness and how to make them easier to integrate into your everyday life and your long-term goals. Today's focus is going to be on physical health, kind of one of the more obvious buckets of our wellness and one of my personal favorites, obviously. I have been in the fitness and wellness industry for going on 31 years now, I think. And I really feel like I personally have done a lot of changing and evolving over the years in what health and fitness and wellness really means to me, and for those people that are in my orbit, so to speak. When we talk about our physical health, there are a lot of different elements to that. For our daily focus, I want to talk a little bit about your actual physical fitness. And I am a big proponent of moving your body. And throughout my entire life, I've been somebody that loves to hike, somebody that loves to bike. As a fitness instructor, I've taught everything from aerobics, step aerobics, strength training, cycle, boot camp, yoga. Almost everything except dance. No one wants to see me dance. It all looks like squats and lunges at the end of the day. But I really love being able to move my body. Some of that has changed for me over the years. I do have arthritis in my hips and in my low back, and so those higher impact things are a challenge. Even hiking, which is something I absolutely love to do, those steep hills just don't really jive with my body anymore. So I've had to change a little bit of my focus. One of the things that's super important as we age is to put some emphasis on strength training. We tend to lose muscle mass as we age if we don't pay attention to our muscles. And so some of us, those cardio queens out there, and you want to do your hour-long, cycling class or something, I'm not saying don't do those things. What I am suggesting is that you incorporate some more strength training. If you want to combine those two things, high intensity interval training is a fantastic way to do that. So you're going to take these bursts of high intensity movement and exercise, not necessarily high impact, but really pushing that heart rate up high and then bringing it back down low all the way to the recovery zone. So I can't emphasize enough how great it is to have a heart rate training monitor of some kind. Now, a lot of us have our handy dandy Apple Watches, and those are great. And I use mine as well, but I really want accurate information coming my way. And you can't get as accurate from your wrist as you can from a chest strap. This is measuring your pulse. The chest strap is measuring your actual heart rate activity. I love MyZone. That is the heart rate monitor system that I use. I think it's amazing. So you can always go check out MyZone. That's just MYZONE, and you'll be able to check out their heart rate monitors, because sometimes we think we're hitting those high highs, but we're not working as hard as we think we are. And sometimes we think that we're recovering and we haven't dropped as low as we think that we are. So this is a way for you to really monitor your exercise so you're getting the most bang for your buck. We are all pressed for time, it seems like, these days. And so, you can take a 20 to 30 minute HIIT workout and get as much benefit out of that as you would a 60-minute longer, more steady state workout. So definitely something to consider looking into, alternating some strength training in on some of the other days where you're really hitting those weights a little bit heavier, keeping in mind that form trumps the amount of weight that you put onto your body. So form always counts. It never serves you well if you sacrifice your form to go heavier, because you might end up in an injury and you're not really getting the full benefit of that exercise. The other thing that I want to talk about, maybe on a monthly basis, is scheduling some of those maybe screenings or checkups that you've been avoiding. I know you have been. We all do it. We procrastinate. I don't really want to go in and get that mammogram. Don't really feel like I need to get that teeth cleaning this month, or that checkup that I haven't had, oh gosh, in 3 years. So a lot of us are a little bit lackadaisical about scheduling these appointments, sometimes because we don't want to go. Sometimes it is difficult to fit into our schedule. So take some time, pick one of the things that you may have been avoiding, and just get it scheduled. Don't have to think about it beyond that. Just get it scheduled so that you can continue to maintain your health and keep tabs on things. Things can really change over the course of a year even, or sometimes even less. So we want to make sure that we're always monitoring our health so that we can get ahead of anything that might not be going on that well with our body, as well as, step up our preventative maintenance, so to speak, so that we are, keeping everything in check, in line, all of that good stuff. On an annual basis, you really want to assess, how well have I been doing? Am I meeting the goals that I've set for myself? That could be some of your nutrition goals, which is part of your physical health, obviously. Maybe that's a weight loss or muscle gain goals. It could be, I want to get stronger. I want to improve my flexibility and mobility. Like, what are your goals? If you've got them written out, all the better. If you're not there yet, maybe that's what you do for your annual basis, and see how far you want to go over the course of a year. I highly recommend taking some time to find some apps that are helpful for you to track whatever it is that you want to track. So I personally use several different apps that I feel are pretty easy to use. I like MyFitnessPal to track my food intake, because it helps give you not only the caloric amounts of everything that you eat, but it also helps give you some of those macronutrients. So am I getting enough protein? Am I eating too many carbs? Am I getting enough carbs? And where you sort of sit in your daily habits. So it can be a little bit tedious, especially when you first start, not gonna lie. I don't usually put everything in to that tracker right when I eat it. I usually do it at the end of the day. I do tend to measure my food and things like that because I want to know as closely as possible what I'm actually getting from a nutrient and a calorie expense standpoint. So the thing that's great about MyFitnessPal is that as you begin to log your food, things that you eat frequently, and I'm somebody that's sort of a repetitive eater. I eat the same thing for breakfast every day, and I kind of rotate through a lot of the same meals. They show up in that tracker, so it's not so much you having to figure it out, like, oh, how much did I eat? How many ounces was this? Whatever. It's already there, and you can just add that in for each day. It makes it a little bit simpler, and you can add in recipes that you make or certain things you make at home, so you can really have the most accurate telling of what you want. I also like to use what's it called? I think it's called a happy scale. And I just track my weight with that. It's very easy to see any fluctuations, weight losses and gains and so forth. And for me personally, I just enjoy having that particular thing. You mentioned MyZone. That's a tracker that I use to track my physical activity and, make sure that I'm getting enough different types of exercise and staying on top of my movement throughout the week and throughout the month. It gives you a little synopsis of it, kind of gamifies the whole thing. Oh, and by the way, it has some fun workouts baked into there so that you can, if you're at home and you don't know what to do, you've got some workouts right there for you. So, using some trackers, making sure you're setting goals and then monitoring that progress that you've made over the course of years, a great way for you to stay on top of your health. Hey, we're all getting older, aging, not so much gracefully. I like to age a little bit defiantly, but we have to stay on top of ourselves if we want to have long lives, but healthy lives, so that we are building towards being able to do the things that we love to do for as long as we love to do them. just letting ourselves have as much opportunity to live life to the fullest. I hope you enjoyed these tips and you find some ways to incorporate them into your lives. I'd love to see if you have other tips along these lines. Please leave them in the comments down below, and feel free to join me at layloyoga.com for more tips. You can download our free Radical Wellness ebook so you can kind of follow along and track your own progress that way. And be sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff to the YouTube channel, and I can continue to share these tips with you.